Pirates are back. Oil tankers are being seized at gunpoint. Crews kidnapped, ships dragged towards Somali waters. While the world focused on the Houthis, another threat slipped through the cracks. And now the high seas are starting to look lawless again. Pirates are back, and this time they are moving faster, hitting harder, and operating across a stretch of ocean that the world had largely written off as a solved problem. On the morning of May the 2nd, the oil tanker MT Eureka was seized off the coast of Yemen's Shabwa province. Armed men boarded the vessel at 5 in the morning local time, took control, and pointed it south towards Somali waters. Yemen's Coast Guard confirmed the hijacking and said it had identified the tanker's location, with efforts underway to recover it and protect its crew. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations had already flagged a suspicious approach by a green-hulled skiff and a white fishing vessel before the Coast Guard statement came out. This was not an isolated incident. According to 3 separate security officials from the semi-autonomous Puntland region who spoke with the BBC, the pirates departed from near the coastal town of Kandala on the Gulf of Aden. A Puntland security official told the BBC,
"The ongoing crisis with the pirates is much worse than many realize. There are increasing movements of armed groups all over the coast."
The MT Eureka was the 4th successful pirate hijacking in 2 weeks. 10 days before the Eureka was taken, another oil tanker called Honor 25 was hijacked by Somali pirates on April 22nd. That vessel was carrying 18,500 barrels of oil bound for Mogadishu. On April 23rd, a separate cargo vessel was approached by armed men on fishing boats, but after an exchange of fire, the attackers pulled back. And just the day before the Eureka hijacking, the UK MTO reported yet another incident near Al-Mukalla, Yemen, where armed persons on a skiff approached a bulk carrier. British security group Ambry described the pattern plainly, calling it a renewed surge in Somali piracy. So what changed? The answer traces back to late 2023, when Houthi rebels began their campaign of attacking commercial ships in the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea. International navies, which had spent years suppressing Somali piracy, pivoted to deal with the Houthi threat. That pivot left a gap. Armed groups along Somalia's coastline noticed. Somalia has the longest coastline in mainland Africa, stretching over 3,000 kilometers, and much of it is now poorly monitored. Somali piracy had been in sharp decline since 2011. What took years to suppress has come back in months. The United States is quietly adjusting its naval strategy, and the message is clear. The Red Sea is no longer safe. The USS George H.W. Bush is currently sailing off the coast of Namibia, taking a longer route around Africa instead of passing through the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. The move allows the carrier strike group to avoid the Bab al-Mandab Strait, one of the world's most dangerous maritime choke points right now. The reason lies in Yemen. Iran-backed Houthi rebels have repeatedly targeted US and commercial vessels in the Red Sea using drones, missiles, and small attack boats. Over the past 2 years, more than 100 attacks have disrupted global shipping, forcing vessels to reroute and raising security concerns. Even in recent days, suspicious armed approaches near Yemen's coast have been reported, underscoring that the threat has not disappeared. More importantly, the Houthis are not backing down. The group has warned it could resume or escalate attacks if the United States intensifies its confrontation with Iran. It has even threatened to target American ships and potentially close the Bab al-Mandab Strait, a vital artery for global trade. That risk has forced Washington to rethink its movements. Instead of sailing through contested waters, the US Navy is choosing distance over danger, even if it means a longer deployment timeline. But this is not just about Yemen. As the US avoids one flashpoint, another is heating up. Iran has issued direct warnings over a possible American blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, calling it an act of war. With both choke points under threat, the region's maritime map is being reshaped in real time. The result is a widening confrontation at sea. The US is repositioning, the Houthis are warning, Iran is escalating, and the world's most critical shipping lanes are becoming the next front line. Tensions in the Gulf have sharply escalated as the United States moves to enforce a naval blockade targeting Iranian ports and maritime activity. US President Donald Trump issued a direct warning to Iranian naval assets, signaling a shift toward aggressive maritime enforcement.
Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated, 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated, using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. It is quick and brutal. P.S. 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean or sea have stopped.
The blockade, announced by US Central Command, is set to target vessels entering or leaving Iranian ports, while allowing transit through the Strait of Hormuz to non-Iranian destinations. Iran has strongly rejected the move. In a statement broadcast on state television, Iran's military command warned that the blockade violates international law and risks wider escalation.
The restrictions imposed by criminal America on maritime navigation and transit in international waters are illegal and constitute an example of piracy.
Tehran further warned that if its ports are threatened, no port in the Persian Gulf and the Arabian Sea will be safe, signaling potential retaliation across regional maritime infrastructure. The blockade follows the collapse of US-Iran talks in Islamabad, brokered by Shehbaz Sharif, dashing hopes of a diplomatic off-ramp after weeks of war. Global reaction has been swift. China urged restraint, warning that disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, a key artery for global energy flows, could destabilize international markets. European allies have also distanced themselves. Spain's defense minister called the move senseless, while UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer confirmed Britain would not participate in the blockade. Meanwhile, oil markets reacted immediately, with Brent and WTI crude prices surging past $100 per barrel amid fears of prolonged supply disruption. With diplomacy stalled and naval forces now directly confronting each other in one of the world's most critical waterways, the Strait of Hormuz is once again at the center of a high-stakes geopolitical standoff, where even a minor miscalculation could trigger a far wider conflict.